Today, I'm going to talk about one of the biggest mistakes in all of dog training. It is super, super important. Please understand that this is crucial if you have a puppy, if you're getting a dog, a young dog, okay? So we're talking about socialization. Socialization is by far more important than training your dog. Socialization happens in the first 20 weeks of a dog's life. I don't want to be exact and say like it's cut off at 20 weeks. But the bottom line is those first, 20 weeks to 30 weeks of life are called the socialization period. And in this period of life, in your dog's life, they are experiencing what they know as the world and what informs the rest of their life as a dog. It has now been proven and shown that dogs who lacked early socialization in the first 20, 30 weeks of life, the dogs that lack proper early socialization have fear, aggression, and other behavioral problems. They also don't learn as quickly. There are a lot of real inherent problems. And we see this a lot with the COVID dogs. COVID dogs are dogs that were born in the past 2.5 years. COVID hit. People didn't socialize their dogs. And there's a whole slew of dogs that are socially really, really behind. They didn't meet people. They didn't meet other dogs. And now we're seeing a whole community of dogs, and I'm sure in your communities as well, that are fearful / and or aggressive, have really bad problems on or off leash with other dogs, and show extreme fear or aggression towards people. So this video is not really per se about what to do if your dog already has a problem, because there are lots of things we can do, including desensitization, counter conditioning exercises, and a ton of things to help bring around dogs that may not have had a proper socialization period. But this video is meant more for people with a new dog and a dog that is under 6 months old. We have a problem in the dog training world, and the problem used to lie between veterinarians and animal behaviorists, because animal behaviorists always said you need to socialize your dog well before the end of the vaccination period. And because knowing the dangers, behaviorists say, well, it's far more important to socialize your dog and have, a friendly social dog, and the chance of an infectious disease is very slim. So the benefits of early socialization outweigh the harms. And that is what behaviorists have always said. But the veterinarians kind of went fully the other direction, and they tell you not to socialize your dog during the vaccination period because there's a chance your dog can get parvo, distemper. There's a small window of time there when your dog is not inoculated, and they are born with a certain amount of inoculation from their mother and their mother's milk, but then there's a little window before they're fully vaccinated that the dog can contract a disease, and parvovirus is a deadly disease. So the vets have always been on the side of like, no way, don't even put your dog on the ground, don't even put him around another dog, leave him in the house, don't let him touch the ground, don't let him, meet other dogs. And to me, that's extreme. And it's not only to me, because today we have the integration of both worlds. We have the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behaviorists. That is a group of professionals that are not only animal behaviorists, but they're veterinarians. And they write the standard of care, what the standard of care should be for veterinarians to tell their clients. And it has been deemed, and the AVSAB came out with a statement that says young dogs should be well socialized before the end of their vaccination period, which would be in the first 20 to 30 weeks of life. So it's a fact. So if you have a vet that's telling you, the extreme, it doesn't mean he's wrong. He just wants to protect your dog. But what he's forgetting to tell you is that you can properly socialize your dog in a way that's safe, that minimizes your dog's chances of getting sick. But it's far more important to do that because more dogs get put down every year for behavioral issues, aggression, fear, running away, severe anxiety. More dogs get turned into shelters and put down because they weren't socialized. That kills more dogs than if we properly socialize and take a small risk. It's not really a risk if you socialize properly. Everything's always a risk, guys. So what I mean by it's not a risk is it is the benefits of early socialization far outweigh the harms. So let's look at proper ways you can socialize your puppy. We have car rides with the windows down, exposing him to sights, smells, noises, sounds. You can boost him up or have somebody hold him in the car in the passenger seat so he can look out the window. You can go park at a park where kids are playing so he can look and see and experience the sights, sounds, and smells. Socialization is important, but only if it's proper socialization. So you have to make sure your dog is having a wonderful time and that he's not fearful in the socialization period. If you see signs of fear, you may be doing too much, and it actually is harmful to over-socialize your dog in this period, meaning if you expose him to scary things or too many things that frighten him, it can work against you and work the other way, again, causing fear or behavioral issues. So what you want to do is bring super yummy treats like chicken, cheese, or hot dogs. And every time your dog sees something new and looks at it, you give him a treat. He looks at a motorcycle going by, you give him a treat. He looks at a skateboard going by, you give him a treat. This will desensitize him to saying to your dog, those things are good, those things are wonderful. When you see a skateboard or a motorcycle or a loud truck, those things equal treats. Those things are good, and use your voice in a kind, good way. Exercise number 2, you can take a blanket and spread out that blanket at a park and put your puppy on the blanket, put a little X pen or baby gate around you so he can't get out to the grass. But being out there in that environment, again, seeing on the ground other dogs, people, places, and things. Get your puppy around vaccinated, friendly dogs. Dogs that you know are not going to discipline your puppy. A lot of dogs don't like puppies. Even if they're super friendly dogs, they get very irritated by puppies. You don't want to go around those dogs in the socialization period. Let your dog around friendly, playful dogs. This can be other puppies, but it is important. It's very important. Remember, your dog just left his mother and his litter mates. So it's very important to get your dogs around dogs right away. Clean, vaccinated dogs in very clean areas. So you can take your dog to Petco or PetSmart. You can bank on it that most dogs going in there are vaccinated and well taken care of. You can go to Home Depot. They allow a lot of dogs in. Tractor Supply. Putting your dog even in a shopping cart and in stores that will allow dogs like Tractor Supply or Home Depot, and walking your dog around the store in the cart. These are hugely important things. Then you want to find a time to find some good dogs, big and small, very kind, gentle dogs. Have them over to your house and have your puppy meet these other dogs in your house or in the backyard where you're already taking your dog. If you're really that worried about parvo, then you actually have to be taking off your shoes every single time you go into your house. And I'm sure you're not doing that, or, even bleaching the bottom of the shoes. Let's say you take the shoes off and put them down. If your puppy goes and licks the bottom of your shoes, you could be carrying parvovirus on those shoes. So there's really no way to fully protect yourself against parvovirus, even if you're not socializing your dog. So the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behaviorists has come out with a new standard of care. It's not new. It's been around for several years now, which is that all puppies should be well socialized before the end of their vaccination period. And that is some of the most important information you'll ever get. Even if you have a dog who's already older, you can tell your friends, you can spread the word. Look up AVSAB, AVSAB, American Veterinary Society of Animal Behaviorists. Look that up and look at their position statements. They have some really good, interesting information. And also are the ones that said, hey guys, look, it's totally okay. And in fact, the standard of care that dogs should be socialized before the end of their vaccination period. So I hope that helps you to create a friendly, wonderful puppy. And if you have dogs that already have a behavioral issue, look back to that time in life and see if it was possibly a lack of socialization. And if it was, just acknowledge it and move forward. I'm going to talk about desensitization and counter conditioning and how we help dogs with fear, anxiety, aggression, and behavioral issues. So that will be coming up in a longer tutorial. And I hope you guys are doing well. It's a beautiful week, and happy training. If you have more questions or you want more information, look at my YouTube channel. There will be tutorials there about the 101 biggest mistakes humans make to mess up their dogs. If you're interested in becoming a dog trainer, you can see my online training program at inspiredbydogswithdina.com. That's inspiredbydogswithdina.com. If you join Essential Skills and Games, it comes with a weekly mentorship where you get access to me online, and we talk about questions, answers, problems you're having and stuff like that. But it's a really, really good program. And I even have a lot of pet dog owners that are taking that program, even though they don't want to become dog trainers. It's a very, very, if you want to go further with your training with your dog, it's a great program. And my YouTube, of course, is free, and these tips are free. That's what I do because I love doing it. You can visit my TikTok, Dina Zafiris, to see dog dancing and fun tricks. And I'll keep posting my tips here. But if you're interested in further training, go see inspiredbydogswithdina.com. That's inspiredbydogswithdina.com. You're going to see Lickety Split, who's my border collie, who sleeps during these videos because she's like, I know it's not my turn. I know it's not my turn to train. Mommy's babbling again and talking about all these things. So happy training, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.